algorithms are connected. They're changing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. I know Instagram is going away from organic, so the people that had an organic follow, now that the code's changing, there's some people that will go from 300,000 followers to 1,500 followers. So they have to rethink their whole strategy. So if their stuff wasn't built on value and built on a following, they're gonna have a rude awakening. If it was, just cheap content that didn't bring anybody any value, where people wouldn't just come back over and over to the same place. Google, you live in a world of reviews, so the more stuff you have on Google and the more you tie it into YouTube, the better you will do in people finding you online. And that's where all the business happens, is online. So the more content you have online, the more reviews you have on Google, the more active you are on YouTube. Even if it's just driving through a neighborhood, if you don't comfortable with being on camera and talking about a neighborhood, that will put you up in Google. And that's pretty much what everybody uses. And if you're coming up in these search results more and more, obviously that's better for your business.
It's really about having Google juice. I call it Google juice.
Yeah.
Here, the cool thing about it is everyone's getting like put in an even spot. So Gary Keller talked a lot about this at Mega Camp, that basically all of us, Beyonce, look at Beyonce, like what does she have, 1 bajillion followers? Well, now she has 20, if you really look at it. Like everyone got like evened out, and I think what the message I want to share with you guys today is there's a lot of opportunity for you to gain this crazy SEO right now that you wouldn't have been able to gain before. And everyone's back at square one. So we're all at the starting line. Think of that for SEO. And this hasn't happened for a really long time. I remember when Google changed their algorithm about 3 or 4 years ago, it was very disruptive. But we've got all the other social platforms also kind of in cahoots, like they're all kind of doing this. And the best analogy I heard, and it was from Brendan Kane, and I'm actually doing a class with Brendan Kane right now, who has the book 1 Million Followers in 30 Days. I'm really fortunate because Gary Keller is teaching us a class next Wednesday with Brendan, and I'm about 3/4 through this book, and you can see how many pages of notes I took. But he actually has the hack that all of you could follow, and you could literally have 1 million followers in 30 days. It's not difficult to do, actually. It's pretty easy. But his point is this: it's not about followers, you guys. It's them tracking with you and staying with you. And this is where you guys have a really cool moment in time that you're at. Now, this isn't for all of you. If all of you are like, oh, I'm not going to do this, then don't do this. But for those of you that like building content and creating content, you're going to be just up in heaven right now, because you literally could do a playlist on YouTube called Virtual Neighborhood Tours. And that would be really smart to do right now, because so many people are buying homes sight unseen. And so even if you're not going to go all in on this, you're going to want to add in your tagging on anything. I don't care if it's Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, Google, or whatever. You're going to want to add tags of virtual showings, virtual real estate transactions. So the keywords you're going to want to use are virtual, digital, and contactless. So if you're going to stuff tags in anything, you got to think of that, because that's what people are searching right now. And so when they interviewed Brendan, he shared some really cool concepts, but then Gary brought in the data, and the data proves that 84% of consumers during COVID started using other companies than the company that they've gone with over and over. Now, let me give you an example. Let's just say you've got this handyman. He's your guy. He does your basic electrical, basic plumbing. He's your honey-do list guy. Well, during COVID, he may not have been available, or he kind of may have disappeared on you, or maybe he didn't have a contactless way of serving you. And you saw a commercial that this plumber can come over in little notice, contactless, it's safe, he's COVID friendly, follows CDC, and your guy just didn't get back to you. You've got a new guy. that you're using. Now, what they're proving out is that 84% of consumers are using a lot of new brands they've never used before, and that might be because their groceries are now delivered, or they don't go to the pet store anymore. They use Chewy.com, and so we're seeing a lot of transition. But now is the time that you can do market share grab and SEO grab, and once you grab it, you don't lose it until they change the algorithm again. And would you add anything to that, Stefan, or would you change anything that I said? Because you probably know it a little bit better than I do. Oh, you're muted.
You are.
There you go.
No, totally. Like I said, a lot of people are shy being on camera, and you know that's something hard to get over. People are like, oh, I don't like the way I look today, or my hair is not good today. But your consumers are going to see you that way, so you're just going to have to own yourself and you as a brand. And the more content you create today, the better your business will be in 5 years, because this is where everything is heading. So the more you fight it, the more that's going to hurt you in the long run of just being professional. And this doesn't just, it's not for real estate. This is for all kinds of business.
This is every industry. Yes, yes.
100%. So the quicker you get with it, and the quicker you get over some of those nuances, like not being comfortable being on camera, then do it a different way. Drive through a neighborhood and have the camera turn around and talk about the neighborhood instead.
Right, or interview someone, or do it like this, where you've got the screen where Stefan's on one side and I'm on the other, and you go interview an expert. So there's lots of ways to do it. Yet I'm going to tell you, video is really going to be critical in a lot of ways. And if you're not doing it, you're going to have to fake it in some way. So when you're out showing property and you've got time to kill, why not drive a neighborhood safely, or walk a neighborhood safely, or whatever, or talk about the neighborhood you're in and show key parts like the park at the corner and the cute little bistro and the little main street that's only 4 blocks away, the key points. So if you were to sell the house and the lifestyle around it, we call it storybooking or storyboarding a house. It's really putting that lifestyle around it. That's going to be a really popular flow. And so some of you have drones and other cameras. Think about really, when you do the drone, getting a real good aerial and then talking about the neighborhood and the benefits of the neighborhood. And then what you do is you put those in playlists with a way of tagging and detailing. And I'm going to go into detail now. This is a cool thing. For those of you that are like, wah, 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 wah right now, there are people that will do this for you for very little. So I want you to know what the basics are, just so you know what to shoot for. If you have someone on your team or an admin or someone supporting you, or I want you to know next time you get a listing and you have drone photography and this done, what else maybe would you add for screens or video shots that you could run off of? And then how are you getting that video back from the vendor? And instead of sharing from their YouTube channel, you're moving it to your YouTube channel and you're tagging it and you're putting the right detail and descriptor in. Because the other thing is little things that they change. Like for YouTube, if you don't have 100 characters or more in just the description, they don't really index you very seriously because they don't think you're very serious about the video. So what I did, and I'm going to show this today at noon, and then I'm going to do a little workshop for the next couple Thursdays to kind of track with this so you actually complete your YouTube and your Facebook. I'm going to focus on Facebook and YouTube because that's where you're going to have the biggest win right now. If you were to do just a few setting changes, you will have massive uptick. And I'm going to show that specifically, but we're going to do it together in a workshop. So today I'm going to kind of show everything. And then the next 2 Thursdays, we're going to actually be working together, if that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. Question. You know, the list of services that you had yesterday, the menu of services, is there any way we can
Yes, there is a way. I'm working on it, girl. Yeah.
Okay, team leader, I'm with you, girl. Okay.
Yeah, but it just really, Darlene, because you do great video and you've got all the gadgets and you like to do it as much as I do. You still have to create it and then you just dump it like in a Dropbox or a Drive, and then we can have someone do everything else for you. Yeah. Yeah. And there's VAs that can do that. Stefan, what were you going to add?
Yeah. One more thing that I was just thinking of that everybody maybe should spend some time on is Google Trends. Google Trends is an analytical tool where you can put in your neighborhood and you see what that neighborhood is talking about. So if you put in New Tampa, for example, a lot of people in New Tampa are looking at Vermont, Montana. Why are they looking at Vermont and Montana? So you can use that to your advantage. And this works for all neighborhoods. This works over a month. This works over a year. So you can see how those trends are changing. And then for a real estate person or a person in any industry, that's super important because you see what those neighborhoods are doing and how they're trending before people realize it's a trend. So you can stay ahead of the curve.
Well, and here's the thing, you know, for some of us, we're going to be like, oh, this will be fun. And some of you are like, this is horrible. I don't want to do this. Here's the thing. You just have to look like you're doing it. It's really that simple. So a couple things. You need to have certain social media platforms set up in a professional manner so your internet curb appeal as a realtor looks set up. You know, if I Google Darlene Jones, does she have a YouTube channel? Does she have a business Facebook? Is she everywhere I want my listing to be? Okay. And, or does it look really messy? Like, is it different photos on everything? A photo from 1989 on one and you got new branding on another? You know, you've really got to make sure your professional curb appeal from the internet looks good and that you're on the basic things. Once we set you up, you guys could literally just steal videos from other people and put them on playlists. And it looks like you have a massive YouTube library. So for those of you that want to just look good, yes, we need you to look good. You need to look good so you don't lose listing opportunities and business opportunities because people are going to be searching your name. And if you don't have what they're looking for, they're going to be like, I think I'm going to go with this other guy, right? And I don't want you to lose. Second of that is for those of you that want to not only look good, but get all the SEO, it's not rocket science. And I can be the proof of that because I've only been doing this the right way for just a few weeks, maybe 7 or 8 weeks. And again, if you look at my analytics, it's through the roof. And I'm not behaving differently. That's the funny thing. If only thing I've done is I've taken some training on how to set up my YouTube channel better. And I still don't have it perfect. But it's so much better already with just these few things I did. So I'm going to share what those are today at 11. So if you'd like to tag along, jump on, it will be recorded if you're busy. And you can find that at the Ubaldini YouTube channel after the fact. It usually takes a day or two for Andrew to get everything up. So don't expect it to be today. It'll be, by Monday. And for those of you that need the accountability of like, okay, I'm going to do it. There's going to be accountability built in because I'm going to do 2 workshops following, and we're going to do a real important project for your facade, like your image. And so you can also hire this out. So I do have someone that you can hire this out to, Darlene, but in terms of long-term, who could maybe be a virtual assistant to me that took out of my Dropbox all my videos and did something with it, we can find people for you to do that as well. So whatever it is. Yeah, absolutely. But I hope you understand how important this is. And for those of you that aren't into video, guess what? Get into video. And if all it is about real estate and neighborhoods and you're never on camera, that's okay, but we should definitely brand it properly with a good photo in the beginning and a great thumbnail and a great finish that's like your business card so that you earn mind share with that, not just showing neighborhoods to people. So I just want to make sure if you're a little shy on camera, we'll help you with that. There's ways for you to do that. You don't have to be like on camera like I am all day. I never thought with a team leader gig, I'd be doing this all day. I have a lot of pressure to have good hair every day. So, but there's a reason why Gary Keller is putting these people in front of us. And it's ironic because I'd already been studying Brendan. He's a pretty cool dude. And yet he helps basically like Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber and all these other people and then all these executives really develop their following. And he's really good at creating a long-term organic following because it's authentic. And so for those of you that are worried about being on or perfect, the more authentic, the better. People don't want professional green screen. They don't want that. They want quick, fast, good information from someone they believe. So we're going to go through that today at 11 if you want to join us. And yet I hope you guys understand where this is all heading. Now, YouTube is critical and Facebook is critical and the rest of it is extras. I'd rather have you dial those 2 in and win off of both because they're the Google and Facebook are it. I mean, there's nothing close to them, and Google owns YouTube. So they really they're proponents of anything that you're putting on YouTube if you're doing it right. And they give you a lot of Google juice for that. And yet, if you're going to do something on Facebook, like say you're going Facebook Live, make sure you're downloading it and also putting it on YouTube, because they compete with each other. They don't like each other. Facebook does not like Google. Google does not like Facebook. They try to keep you on their platform all the time. And you'll notice that with Facebook, if you try to do certain videos and things, sometimes it shows it differently. And so they compete with each other. They're kind of like realtor.com versus Zillow, or Redfin versus Zillow. And yet they're both really critical to your business. And the neat thing is for any of you that have said, oh my God, I need to do video. I need to do video. And if you look at any of the new realtor magazines, I've got them right here. My desk is covered by magazines of real estate, like trends and what you should do. All of them say the same thing: video. And for those of you that choose to do this, even if you did it in cahoots with someone else, I mean, you can really, you just got to build your own brand. If you do this, this is like getting into Zillow Premier the first week they offered a zip code in your area. Think of it that way. That's what it is, because Zillow's gone. Buying leads from realtor.com is going to be gone soon, because they partnered with OpCity and they partnered with Opendoor. So there's some mergers going on. So all these lead sources that realtors used to buy from are going to be gone. They're going to be no longer. So think about this as the newest lead source between the command Facebook ads and this. If that's all you guys decided you wanted to get good at for 2021 and add to your toolkit, that's all I would do. Anyone want to talk about this? I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot for those of you that have never done it before. And I would be happy to do an interview with you, any one of you, about the market or anything to get you kicked off. And I've also thought of, like, as a leader, what can I do for you guys so that you have content to share, even if you don't want to make content. So we've talked about, a local market overview, that you can share out, and that you could edit and put your own beginning and end on if you wanted. I'm thinking of all those things for you, because I don't want anyone to get left behind on this. And yet for those of you that are ready to run with this, let's go, because this is going to be fun. You can make a lot of money doing this. And the thing is they did a study, NAR did a study, and still I got the numbers right here. I want to give you the correct numbers. NAR did a study about people in real estate and what their comfort level is into getting back into real estate. And what I wanted to share was, I want to give you the rate stat. Give me 1 second here. 64% of people surveyed, and they surveyed 1 million people, 64% do not feel comfortable buying or selling real estate in the traditional manner any longer. So even if you have old video, here's a little hack. Go back in and to the description, make sure it's 100 characters or more, and that it includes the word virtual, digital, contactless, COVID safe, how to buy a home safely during COVID, how to sell a home safely during COVID, because those are the key terms according to Google. And the cool thing is, because we're partnered with Google and we're partnered with Facebook as literally allies, they give us all this data. Now, if you've watched the news, is Facebook in the hot seat right now with the DOJ? Aren't they? Department of Justice is going after Facebook. It's going after Google. If you watched the news yesterday, they're going after both of them for basically them doing what they're doing for us right now, you guys. Seriously. So who's to say they're not going to get taken down? Well, then organic's going to win. So if you really want to put yourself in a good spot for the future, video, because you'll never lose that SEO, will you? Unless they change the algorithm.
Right.
Right? So just think about that for a second. Isn't that kind of wild?
Yeah, there's also something that I learned about YouTube in the book, I think covered it, or I read it somewhere. When you are in Facebook, you are pushing your ad for people that may or may not be looking for your ad. On YouTube, it's completely the opposite. you're presenting information that people are looking for. So people are looking for information and you come up. That's qualification 101 versus maybe browsing. No, these people are looking for an answer and your information comes up as an answer.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you guys tips and tricks as we go through these workshops. And I think this is going to be a conversation we're going to be having for a long time. But like little things, like say you do a video about how to buy a home safely during COVID. And you did the whole video and you went step by step. And at the end of the video, it ended up being 48 minutes long. What you would do then is you would make a short 1 minute, 30-second video about what you cover, and you would link the video, because let's just be honest, if I need to know how to fix my tire and I Google it on my phone and there's one answer that's 1 minute and 22 seconds long and there's a video about 22 minutes, which one am I going to click on? The quick one, right? I want the quick answer, but I don't know. I can't learn everything about changing my tire in 1 minute and 30 seconds, but I can quick see it and say, okay, I got this. Or, oh boy, I better watch the long video. So those are some of the tricks and tips I'm going to teach you guys. But you're going to need to become more comfortable like I've become in front of you guys every morning. And when I first started, I was really bad. I'm not that good yet. I should have paid more attention to my communications classes in college. And yet, you know, just know that that's why Kevin has set up a studio in the office for you guys to record. So if you're not in a good situation at home, you can just pop into the office and it's got a nice backdrop and you basically plug your computer in and you can go, and it's got a professional light and all that, because all those things matter. And we just know how important it's going to be to get you guys to do this. So start thinking about this. And for any of you that have YouTube channels and old content, if you take my class or watch it later, you'll get some of my tips and tricks that are really critical to actually get indexed or actually be seen through the SEO eyes. And I'm learning all this from Gary Keller, Keller Williams, Brendan Kane. I'm reading Social Agent 2.0. I'm like studying big time for you guys right now to give you the cliff notes so you know what you need to be doing. And yet, Darlene Jones, I hear you. You need who's going to do it for me, right? Who's going to take all that cool video I made and actually do something with it? We're going to get a tribe put together for you guys too, so that you're not wasting time playing around. The time you're using is when you're creating the content. So here's the challenge I'm going to give you guys, because you got to practice a little to get better at it. And you're probably all like I was March 17th when I became an online team leader, right? I was a little bit rustier than I am now. I got a little bit more pizzazz going in this, and I know how to now do screens and virtual rooms and all kinds of different things I never thought I'd learn how to do. I would challenge you, the next time you're out going to drive to a property, find a way to put your phone in a safe spot so that you can either drive a neighborhood or sit at a bench in the middle of a neighborhood and talk about the neighborhood, or put pictures together or pieces together of touring the neighborhood, whatever it is that you want to do. But start pulling content, and then even if you just dump it into your YouTube channel as unlisted, because that's what I do. I dump everything in as unlisted. I take it from my phone, take it from whatever device I'm, recording on. I dump it into unlisted, and then I will do video time where I'll sit and I'll just quickly do all my stuff to make those videos public or publish ready. And even if you guys do this, I could introduce you to some VAs that know how to take it from there for you to help you build that SEO that you need. And I would just start in a very focused manner, like the neighborhood you dominate, or the neighborhood you intend to dominate, or the real close area that you intend to dominate, and go from there. Don't go like all over the place, because you won't get traction that way. It's kind of like anything that we do. If you kind of do a little of everything, you don't get anywhere, do you? It's like go deep on one thing. So for some of you, that might be interviewing the expert, because you have an awesome Rolodex and you could really win with other people. It's like kind of like a BNI group online. For some of you, it might be property tours. And if you have a lot of free time, you might even go to like the 54 corridor and go through all the neighborhoods that are being built out. What if you did a featured every neighborhood, and you went interviewed one of the sales reps at a model, and then you walked around and shared a couple of your favorite models, and you took that one, maybe 2-hour time span and made enough content where you could probably pull 5-6 videos off of it. Because remember, your videos need to be short and sweet. like me.
Mhm.
Otherwise, no one is going to watch them. True. It's true. Because I know you guys do. I can tell when you stop watching my videos. I sometimes yammer. I'm getting better at that. So I know it's a lot to grab onto, but if you really want to get a lot of SEO moving forward, just think of this. You know, think of Beyonce, think of Jay-Z, think of Madonna, think of all these people that have like 1 billion followers, right? They're back at the starting line with you, aren't they, Stefan? They are. So it's who wants to grab it. And a lot of agents have taken a lot of years and time, and they think they're going to win. Today, they're back at 0. So if you've intended to do this for a long time, now is the time to actually engage. So, oh, we got a puppy. Juan, you got to show. Oh, look at that little pork chop.
By the way,
yep.
You put that puppy in a video while you walk through the neighborhood. Puppies and babies statistically in videos get more hang time, so people will watch the video longer and more if you have a puppy or a baby going through the neighborhood that you're showing.
Okay, I don't have a baby, but I do have puppies. Juan, what's your dog's name?
There you go.
What's your dog's name?
Me. My daughter's my grandpa.
Oh, how sweet. And look at that. There you go, Damari. That's a perfect dog for you. Damari's considering getting a dog. And so she came over and saw my dog. I'm like, you can borrow Ava for a weekend and see if you still want a dog. I like it. So think about it, what you want to do with video, or where you're at. And if you want to know what you're supposed to be doing, I'm going to cover that 11 to noon. If you want to do it with me, I'm going to do that in the next couple team meetings in a workshop style. If you want to say, hey, Jess, who can do this for me? I'm working on that for you, finding that person, because I know that is probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to need that person behind me too. So Damari saw me, I was spending like hours making videos and getting stuff set up. It's not the best use of my time, but if you look at my SEO in the last 8 weeks, you'd be like, I'm in. So I'll be sure to share that and be very transparent, because you guys, I've been doing videos since 2014, and the SEO that I gained in the last real 4 weeks is more than I ever had altogether. And all I did was fix what I was doing. Okay. I know you guys are really excited about video, I can tell. Okay, well, you guys have a great day. Tomorrow's Friday, fun Friday, and many of you are going to come tonight at the open house, so I'll see you at the open house. We've like 70 people coming in. Looking forward to it. We've got several guests, even some recruits coming by. Will be fun. And then we're going next door to 2350, that little bar called 2350 that used to be Danny's, to give Tana a great send off before she heads out and heads to her family. So, and Jessie will be here. Jessie will be here today at noon, our new MCA, if you want to meet her. She's not new to MCA, but she's new to us. She's going to be here because she just wanted to meet you guys and help give Tana a great send off. So she'll be at the social as well. So hope to see you. If not, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Jess.
Bye, guys.